So, Mr. D, I guess we'll start with the principal's update.
Sure. So Ms. Tahira gave me five topics. We'll start with the summer in the city,
No handout?
which is for our second grade families. And she said the letters, the applications did go out to the families. It was backpacked home, if not last week, the week before. And the program is at 95. Okay, it's not going to be housed here. Actually, nothing will be housed in the building for the summer.
No?
So, no. Not this year, and I don't know why. That's a question for her. So, but she would just want to let you know, because I think it came up about the application. So the applications went home to the families. And there is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they could do it online as well. Right?
All the second graders got the...
All the second graders. It's a first come, first serve. I believe they have room for 60 or 90. Again, the number slips me, but
I haven't
yeah. So it's on a
received it
first
yet.
come, first serve basis. So
I haven't got it. You got the paper?
no. So I know you could probably search it on the DOE website
Okay.
and just put in summer in the city. And I think there's an application process that way.
And then for our mandated kids also. Will be sent there for 3, 4, 5.
Mandated.
Summer
3,
school.
4, 5 summer school will be sent to 95 as well. Okay, who has three? Oh, you have Doris. You have a fifth grader. No.
Yes.
Yes, fifth.
Yeah.
I don't think it will happen, but the 3 to 5 students will be mandated for summer school are also going to 95. Okay. Ms. Tahira has brought in 2 dance residencies. I'm sorry, a dance and a music residency for our first, second, and third grade. First grade is receiving a music program from Third Street Music, and they'll teach them different things and build over the course of a 10-week cycle or 10-session cycle. And second and third grade will be instructed in flamenco dancing. So we had that once before. We did it with the fourth grade. Ms. Peralta and I organized it, and it was fantastic. I mean, I found myself going to sit in some of the sessions because I've been to Spain, and I thought it was phenomenal. So the kids enjoyed it, and eventually the teachers found their way up on stage and participated as well. So it was a fun, engaging residency. And that is going to start next week as well. Okay?
And their last session for flamenco, they do a big...
Right. We'll do, we'll do a dress rehearsal and a final presentation for the parents, as far as what we initially had talked about, Ms. Tahira and I. Parent survey. They extended the date till Friday, and we're really asking if you could kind of help us push out the extension as well. The last report that we got, we only had 14% of our parents, and we really made every effort this year to push it. Last year, I mean, it was 32%, wasn't great, but it was a nice, relatively round number. It was a third of our parent. This year was only 14% was the last report that I got. And we've sent out letters when we first sent the surveys home about prizes and giveaways for the first 100 that came here. We sent something for the Parent Association. Ms. Capo had sent letters home that she would be willing to help. So we really went out of our way to try to extend every courtesy to the parents, and really there was no turnout. So maybe if there's something you can backpack home tomorrow. Again, it is an online thing. They don't even have to come in. We try to maybe bump it up a little bit more. I don't know if we'll get back up to 30%, but we really could use your help on that one. Our next parent night, conference night from the DOE is May 23rd. And our focus is going to be science expos. So you'll visit your son or daughter's classrooms, and they'll be doing experiments with you. Okay? And that should be fun. So it was a good takeaway. The teachers are excited about it. They've already come to me, some of my teachers, and who wants to do what. And I'm like, go for it. It sounds fun. So it should be a fun night. And our last topic, this past Friday, our superintendent visited. She did a brief meeting with Ms. Tahira. Well, brief, few hours, but it was just a one-on-one with Ms. Tahira about what's going on in the building, her focus, if she's meeting her goals and things like that. She did promise to come back within the next couple of weeks, so we're thinking next week, probably, she said right before the math test, to do some classroom visits as a follow-up to see the evidence of what Mr. Hirai told her was going on in the building. But so far, it was a positive turnout, according to Ms. Hirai. The talk was productive, and she said she offered some thoughts on maybe how Mr. Hirai can kind of look going forward. Okay, and I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The PA update?
Well, since Ms. Gonzalez is not here, but she left a little questions and PA updates. She wanted to know, because all the 5th grade assemblies were canceled, so she wants to know what's gonna go on, like, for them, as in, I guess, like, are they gonna receive any type of awards, or what's gonna happen with that?
The assemblies were canceled for 5th grade.
Which assemblies? 'Cause we were just
For the
talking
5th
about
graders, there's no 5th grade assembly.
It's news to me. No, that is news to me, and I'm only saying that because I don't have any say in the 5th grade. But I didn't know they were canceled, so I'm going to be honest there. But if Mr. Hirai does, it's a good question you can present to her. So we have no answer. I have no answer for you on that.
Okay.
We can look into that, though.
Also, she said that we sold about $700 for the spring catalog. We also distribute chips and water for the ELA exam, and that kind of worked out pretty great.
It was great.
And we are getting ready for the PA election for September. And we were debating on, I remember we had like some caps to give out for the kids, but we also saw some water bottles. So Doris and I, we decided that because kindergarten are not going anywhere and they're gonna have like a carnival, we were wondering if it was okay for the water bottles for K and 1st grade, and then 2nd through 5th we can give them the caps for the field day trips.
Are they the same price as the caps?
I believe
we find another website.
Yeah.
That is like the same website that we did the caps.
Okay.
It was more cheaper than this one, and like that's what we're trying to do. Like to do just those 2 classes to give them that, and then the rest of the classes. So it comes out like for the 2 things like around $1,400. So it's less
Together.
cheaper than together. Less cheaper than just to get the bottles.
The hats.
Or the hats.
And we have the money for that? For
now, we have it, but still we're asking like parents for donation and everything.
And we sent out a few letters,
So
and
let's see.
we have parents that are sending donations, so it's kind of working out pretty good.
On the spring sale, you said you collected how much?
Only 700.
700.
700.
which would be half the amount that you need for the water bottles and the hats. And you said we have enough money, but you're still collecting.
Yes, we're still collecting since we have to start with something in September. So we have the 1,400, but if we don't leave nothing, and they take like $12 every month for the bank and the fees and everything, so that we're not able to have nothing if we're going to start in September. So we cannot have breakfast and nothing else. That's it. So that's why we're doing like the
collection. On the collection, you're asking for donations.
yes, only donations.
Donations. The letters that went home specified a limit of 5.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Just 5.
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause somebody said there was a letter that went home that said 5 to 10.
No.
No, 5 to 10.
It says 5 to 10?
5 to 10.
You sure? Because I think the regs are only requesting $5.
I think we
should look
changed it. At first it was 5 to 10, but I believe we changed it.
Okay. just.
But we can double
I
check.
think, yeah, and you just really have to look over the regs, because I think the regs are very specific about only accepting a $5 donation from our families, and not per kid.
No,
It's
no, no.
just family.
For family.
Yeah, just please, because I don't want you guys to get in trouble for that either. It's not. I mean, for $5, it's not worth getting in trouble for. So just
No,
really
because
be aware of that.
Last year we asked $10 and it wasn't any problems, nothing, and we got the $10.
Right, but I think if if it was found that it went past the regulations, then there could be something that goes wrong.
Okay.
So this should just be very clear on what the regulations say. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that the regulation for donations for Title I school is $5 per family. I could be wrong.
What is the deadline that we have to order those? I know some field days start early June.
We trying to order that like in the beginning of May or second week of May, so they can come on time, because we have to like write the names on all the cabs and everything. So that's a lot of work. So we're trying to do that as soon as possible.
Excellent. I think that the water bottles are a good idea. I know last year we had the field days were really hot. And I wanted to ask, the March Bullying Assembly, how'd that go?
It is pretty good.
It turned out pretty good. We had a little goodie bags. I
So,
made
they
some
were good.
like colorful chocolate lollipops, and we inside in the goodie bag we had a lollipop, tattoos, stickers. There was something else, pencil, and it turned out pretty good.
And the turnout was good.
Yeah.
I think that having it attached to the family night was very helpful. Excellent. Anything else? PA?
That's it.
Your elections for September, how are they looking?
We gonna start sending the papers in on the beginning of May. So doing that whole 4 weeks, parents can go into the office and put the paper in. So that's how we do it. And then the election is gonna be on the last PA meeting. That's on June 5th.
Are there candidates already, or?
I mean, we had a meeting on Tuesday, and
But it's like
the faces some of parents had was like,
no, I don't. Like last year,
No part
we
of
hate
it?
the same. We
Yeah.
had the same problem last year. That's why we stayed in the PA, because nobody wants to do it. And when they put the letters in the little box that we do, it came only the name of me and Foresta. So we're like, okay, then we have to do it all over again. So that's the problem. Nobody wants to do it.
How have the turnouts been at the PA meetings?
Tuesday was good. We had like
about 8 to 10 people, but
Yeah.
they were new parents. Like there was 2 of them that I've
Mhm.
never seen, and I've been coming since like maybe December.
Mhm.
So like every meeting, there's always a new parent, but they don't come back. So whatever parent doesn't come back, another new parent comes in. So it's like we're not too sure of.
And your topics, they change.
Yes, they do.
I get the flyers.
And we also have the school clinic that sometimes help us out, and they have, like, not this one, but the other one, they were talking about the summer camps, different types of summer camps. But it's like, I don't know if it's that the parents are working or.
Can you send home like a survey of maybe what the parents would like to hear? Like if you had to come for a parent night, what would get you to come? What kind of information would you like to hear? That kind of thing. Just to see what they want, because then if it's something that they want, maybe you can draw in more parents and see if you could send home not only flyers, but figure out an online system that people can receive instant messages on their phones. I think Michelle has something.
Yeah, we have the.
Maybe you could reach out to her and kind of draft something together, and she could shoot it out to the parents. This way, it's even instant. Maybe they're not even getting the letters. You know what I mean? So maybe it's something instant, and then you're getting feedback from them. It's what they want to hear, and it's easier to set up monthly meetings that way. This way, you know which way to reach out. You get the clinic is great, but maybe Mr. Here I can help out, pointing you in the right direction.
tell her if she can come like maybe 2 or 3 times when we have the meetings to come and maybe show her face. Maybe more parents come in if
I'm
they
sure
see
she
her
would love to
face
hear that
or-
from you. Yeah, invite her.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think it's
Maybe we
important.
can
Sure,
do that.
but I think it's important that you invite her in
Yeah.
personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe at the beginning of the year, the first one would be nice. I guess I can't speak for her. I don't know her schedule, but yeah, the first one's nice. Sometime in the middle of the year, and one toward the end to kind of set them up for the following year.
And we were talking too about like maybe we can do in May evening PA meeting to see if their parents come in, because there's a lot of parents in the afternoon in the beacon. So some of them can stay like maybe a half hour,
Kind of like corral
20
them in.
minutes.
Well, not just
In the
that.
PA meeting?
Usually a lot of parents come in early. Like they come out at 5:30, and like because sometimes we're outside waiting, for 5:30, and we see a lot of parents like waiting in the vestibule. So maybe we can try something like that. I don't know.
Try one before the pickup.
Yes,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the pickup.
Yeah, no,
Before.
seriously.
Before or after?
Yeah, and then you could do similar to like with the family night. We kind of corral them into the auditorium. You get them into the auditorium, and then maybe the gym is the pickup, so it's right there. Do before this way if they're waiting, or maybe they're more willing to come a little earlier if they know they can leave and get their kid at 5:30.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Then
of
stay.
parents.
It's a little harder if they have
coming
to
in
stay.
a little bit
Since
earlier.
4 or 4.
Yeah, but then what do you do
Mhm.
with the children? If it's a PA meeting, you don't want to have to hassle, with the children if they're there and they want to go home and I mean anything to get them in. I mean, obviously our surveys aren't producing anything, 14%, so we need to figure something out on how to get them involved a little bit more.
So going off of that, I have the attendance for each grade. It's more of what we've been seeing for the whole year. Kindergarten has 86. I'll send it around. And fifth grade has the most with 90, but fifth grade has actually gone down since September. They had the most at September, the most attendance, and then now they're at 90. So they're still the highest in the school, but 90% for the whole grade isn't great. I think that the attendance bulletin board has really been helping. Kids do pass it and they talk about it all the time, that their grade has the most attendance and they're making an effort to try and come to school, which I think is great. I know we discussed, I'm going to send this around. I know we discussed kindergarten, why their percentages are so low, and Ms. Pacelli mentioned it could be because of working families, and if a kid gets sick, then the brother or the sister has to stay home. So just trying to think of ideas of how to get them to come to school more consistently. So one of our ideas that we had, you guys know this, but we've been doing the awards for the parents for the kids who have perfect attendance. So I asked Eileen to print out each class and their attendance for April. And it hasn't been much, so I asked her to go to mid-March. So we have about 30 days of data, attendance data. So I'm going to give this to the gym teachers and Ms. Pacelli and myself, and we're going to write the attendance awards for K through 5. So I have that ready to go. So that should be given out by Friday. And that's another incentive to try and get parents to bring their children to school. Less for the upper grades, but more for the K1 too, for the kids who. And I think in kindergarten there was about 9. First there was 6 or 7 kids who had perfect attendance since mid-March to present. So I think it's good if those teachers give the awards to those students and say these children have perfect attendance. More incentive for those kids to come to school and get that perfect attendance. And then I think she said there are 2 kids in the schools, I'm not sure their name, in 5th grade who had perfect attendance since kindergarten.
Wow.
Every day, which is great. So if we could recognize those students publicly in the announcements, I think that would be another pressure.
It'd be nice if you mentioned that to Mr. Morales, maybe that he can present them something for graduation. Because that in itself is an amazing feat.
And that'll keep with them when they go to middle school or high school.
Sure. A little medal, I mean, that's literally perfect attendance.
My 5th grader started very good, and then he got sick one day, and I'm like, oh, you almost made it. So Isaiah, he has a very good attendance.
Every day last year.
Yes, right. only that day he got very sick and he had to stay home. And I told him,
We still had 3 almost.
So the last point, the parent engagement, most of our work this year on the SLT and my work for part of my internship has been around parent engagement. So I've been reaching out to the grade levels and the grade leaders, each teacher, to see what their grade is doing. Kindergarten does a ton of parent engagement, surrounded on things that their students need to know when they're coming into school, how to have good conversations, building vocabulary with your child, intro to foundations, OT night. Miss Sophia's class does a lot of work with the parents during the school day and after school. And the kindergarten as a whole, they get together to do a lot of parent engagement. First grade, I know that they do a lot of activities with their social studies curriculum. So I spoke to a first grade class, and part of their social studies curriculum is communities and around the world. So they're going to have a food night where the kids and the families bring in different food from around the world. And they'll actually invite the parents to come in the afternoon to do that. I know one class is doing that. I'm trying to get them to expand it to the whole grade level so that they can all be a part of it and maybe have it in the cafeteria. I'm not sure if we could work out timing and see how that goes, but I think that'll be a nice night for all the parents to engage with the children and the teachers experiencing different food. Second grade, they're also doing something with their social studies curriculum, but they said later in May, maybe early June. And then I know fourth grade does a lot of outreach with field trips. We go on a lot of field trips, a lot centered around the American Revolution, which parents are invited to come. And computer science, Mr. Russello often invites parents every Tuesday to come in for the new computer science curriculum. So I know a lot of parents come and they do a lot of robotics with Mr. Russello. So another incentive for you to go back and tell parents that they can come in every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3 to do robotics. And I think that'll really get parents in because the children in my class love the robots and they love telling their parents about it. And I know once a month Ms. Ghosh brings in food and coffee for the parents in the library. So the parents can come in, have some food, and they can take out a book with their child. Ms. Ghosh does say, I think, she sees the same parents often. So she'd like to get new parents to come in.
The one for the robotics, is this any grade or?
Yep, Mr. Russello does K through 5. Okay. It's in the computer room also. He has a big space. So he puts the robots out and the parents can do it with the children. I know the computer science curriculum changes every few months. So I think now they're doing makey-makeys where the children get to use their hands and build certain things and connect it to an electric circuit and play a video game.
Wow.
So make different things and use it as a video game controller, which is really cool. I think we just got those kits. The makerspace, yeah. And the last point, the family nights. We are not having a family night in April. It's the break, and it was a quick month. But then May, we will have one.
I'm planning on it.
Okay.
Planning on it.
That's going to be the last family night?
I'm open to doing a June one. And I know our focus is really doing fun activities. We have a couple thought out for May. I haven't settled on one, and if we do one, it could give us that second one. We could bring it to June, which would be something like a karaoke night. Yeah, we're thinking about going 2 more because they have been fun. We have had a nicer turnout this year. The giveaways I think help. Coming in hoping to get something to walk home with. But I would like to do 2 more. I can't promise on my time because I run it. I can't promise on that I could arrange it with the testing and everything to do 2. So May or June, hopefully both. So May or June.
We were speaking to Kevin from the Beacon program,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he wanted to do something like for everyone, and but now that you're mentioning it, he wanted to do like some type of carnival, and he's willing to help out with anything that is needed, like a bouncy house, a few other things. Like we spoke about it really, really quick, but now that you're mentioning about maybe we can do something like that in June. And the only thing that he said that we would have to do would be like the permit, because he wants to do it like outdoors. But if we can't do it outdoors, he's willing to do it indoors.
Okay. I'll give you two drawbacks to that. I love the idea because obviously we do it for kindergarten. Help and support. So although he has support in his staff, I can't guarantee that I can get our staff to help out.
No, he's that.
And if we are doing the permit, it has to be my staff. Okay, so that's one. That's a big hurdle to overcome. The biggest hurdle to overcome is insurance, and I'm not willing to take that chance because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of movement, and a lot of things could go wrong. So I'm not willing to take on that responsibility. I don't know if Ms. Tahiri would be willing to. If she says yes, this is her school, then I guess she's gonna have to figure out how to make it work, or we'll have to figure out how to make it work. But as far as running it as a family night, I don't want to take on that responsibility. You know, and as much as I'm willing to do fun stuff, that to me is taking a huge risk. Okay, just because if somebody really does get hurt, you know, we'd have to feel safe. I'd have to lock the fences, but that's a fire hazard. So that means this is in through the building is only in and out that they have. If we have over 100, 200 people, which I'm sure if we bill it as a carnival, we're going to have even more.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd be nervous to take on that. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, hey, yes, let's try it out. That's a huge risk.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, if he's willing to do it with his staff as a beacon run program, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as me running it, I don't feel comfortable doing it. Okay? And that's just for the safety of everybody.
Okay.
Maybe we can try and tell him to do it like only the children that are maybe in the after school, and that's it.
Well, that would be his
Mhm.
program, and then he would run it. He would get it permitted, and he would have to staff it. I'd be willing to help him as much as I could, but if he does it for after school, then although there are kids regular day, that's his program then. If he could come up anything else, I'd be willing to do anything else. But bouncy house has a ton of insurance. That if something goes wrong, then they do bounce out. You know, if something goes wrong, it deflates.
It's
We
Yeah.
did. We wanted it for the first year I took on kindergarten. Kindergarten did it. We wanted a bouncy house, and I was getting them a choo-choo train.
Okay.
And somebody just said, "And where's the insurance coming from?" And I was like, "What?" And they said, although the DOE will cover you because you're permitting it in the sense it's on during school days, you're only covered for certain things. And having an amusement ride and a bouncy house, they will give you a very hard time, and they'll go after you. Whereas, like individually, myself, Ms. Tahiri, Ms. Peralta at the time. So, you know, I'm not worried that people understand they're having fun. It's just it's a lot. And
It's a
a lot of
risk.
responsibility, and it's a risk.
Okay.
So I'm open for anything. But
But that. Okay. I mean, it doesn't hurt to bring it to the
yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, this is not my school. I work here under Ms. Tahiri, so if she feels that it's something she's willing to undertake, I will help her out any way I can. But that would have to come from her.
Okay.
So good idea to get it out to her.
Okay. And our next meeting is May 9th, where we can talk about planning for next year. What we want to focus on and different things. Thank you guys.
A lot of different things.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks.